Ho, ho, ho! How'd you like to have $2,000 in your bank account tomorrow for your Christmas shopping? Well, here's a friend to tell you how you can.
Hi, I'm Monty Hall. Now you can play Let's Make a Deal with me just by calling 1-900-773-3255. I'm giving away $2,000 in cash, but you can't win if you don't call. Call 1-900-773-3255.
$2,000 in your bank account tomorrow? That's almost like Christmas.
$3.88 a minute and the average call 6 minutes.
Hello everybody, and thank you very much for your time today. Today I'm coming to you from North Charleston, South Carolina. Yes. Alright guys, it's Christmas, and here we are on Christmas Eve at the Northwoods Mall, of course, in North Charleston. This has become a little bit of a yearly tradition for our little walkthrough at Northwoods. And going to spend some time with you today, discuss some things, give you a lot of thanks for your involvement in the channel over the last year. Tell you what we've got coming up for the channel also, and let's see where this takes us. So, as we enter the mall, one of the things that I want to say is that the mall definitely is nice. Could it be better? Yes, it definitely could be a lot better. Any mall is better than no mall, so we'll start there. Especially in these tough times of retail, it's definitely kind of sad to see more and more malls either being demolished and, of course, being redeveloped. We just got word recently that the Citadel Mall was purchased by MUSC here in South Carolina. So not all of the mall, from what I was reading. I think just parts of the property have been purchased, and that's going to be redeveloped finally, long overdue. I think Target, Dillard's, and Belk are probably going to be staying at that mall, and they're probably going to rip down the inlines. Now, I don't know the entire plans. If those of you that always watch my channel know anything different than what we're reading, certainly let us know in the comments, and greatly appreciate you sharing that information. Now, one of the things off to the left side here, when we first came in, the Gloria Jean's coffee has been out for a few years, so kind of sad to see that gone. They actually used to have really good coffee, and definitely would have liked to have gotten a coffee during our visit here. Now you see Palmetto Moon off to the right side. They're doing really well. They also have a location at the outlets, and I don't think they have a location at the Citadel Mall, but they actually probably should. They should try and get them in that mall. And then here we have one of the restaurants that is now rebranded. It's some type of sports bar, and I'm not sure if that was maybe Ruby Tuesdays. Again, those of you that are local, let me know. I've already forgotten what that restaurant used to be. And as you see here, the property is either owned and or managed by CBL. And yeah, so another thing that I want to call out here is that there's really minimal Christmas decorations. That's one of the things that I'm kind of down on about this mall. So when we go into the quad area, which it really isn't a true quad area, but when we go into the quad area where JCPenney is located, the JCPenney is really nice because it's got the old school red marble front and the old school font and logo. I hope they never change that. I hope they stay here at the mall. But that Christmas tree that's in the quad area, and we'll see that in a moment, it is about the only lick, if I can use that term, of Christmas decorations that mall management has put up. Not cool. So again, much respect to the tenants here, much respect to the folks that shop here. I think CBL could have done a much better job in making this mall look a little bit more for the holidays, a little bit better, I should say, for the holidays. If those of you agree with me or don't agree with me, certainly put it in the comments. Obviously, that's why we are watching these videos, to share our views. So as we continue to walk through here, you'll see GameStop off to the right side, and I think in one of the corridors here in a moment, we're going to see what used to be that little Radio Shack kiosk that's no longer branded as Radio Shack. So I'm not sure if you heard the news of the person that bought the Radio Shack brand across the world, the rights for it, that I think he hit some legal hard times, and maybe these kiosks, including this one in Northwoods, probably lost their ability to have the Radio Shack branding. I'm not sure if that's the case, but there is the tree, really nice tree. It's all gold, so that's certainly awesome. But beyond what you see right here, and I was pausing to take a picture of the tree, and I was putting that up in some of the Facebook groups, that tree and where Santa is the only bit of Christmas decor. So let's go ahead and walk through. There's the Radio Shack kiosk, and they've got kind of, Amazon-ish, Temu-ish type electronics. I was really hoping for something better, and I really do hope that the owner, and I believe his either wife or fiance that owned that kiosk, I hope they're doing well. I hope they certainly get their sales for the holidays. But I also want an old school Radio Shack, so, certainly don't hold that against me. I just want that old vibe, even if there was, some resistors, transistors, computer parts, all that stuff. I just would love to see that again. Not that I actually know how to solder any of that stuff, and then here you see the Hollister was actually pretty busy. Folks are waiting to get in. Now, as we're walking around the mall, this is, again, Christmas Eve, and I'm hoping to get this video out today for you guys. And so this was at about 9:15-ish. The mall had already been open about 15 minutes. A lot of the tenants actually were not even open yet. And I know that first thing in the morning, usually retail stores don't do all that well in malls, but this was Christmas Eve. So again, more decorations, and also management probably should have held these stores to, hey, listen, you have to be open on Christmas Eve and the week of Christmas or before Christmas on time for every minute of the mall. I remember when I did some retail years ago, if we actually did not have our retail stores open, I had a few stores in Pittsburgh, that we would actually get fined by the malls. So it was something that was enforced, and I don't think they do that anymore because obviously they need the tenants so bad. Now here is the Burlington entrance. We're not going to walk through any of the anchors. There is the old Chick-fil-A, and actually I have a friend that is here in Charleston that used to have, it wasn't an arcade, but it was something close to an arcade. I can't remember the name of it. I'll actually reach out to him and mention it in another video. But next to Chick-fil-A, probably where Books-A-Million was, there was some type of like play area / arcade, and it wasn't the Aladdin's Castle. I'm pretty sure there was Aladdin's Castle here. So his company actually had the arcade games that were in that store. I want to say it was like something, and it wasn't Discovery Zone, but it was kind of like that. I think it was like a kid's play thing. So as you walk through here, you'll also see some of the games for the arcades, the Raw Thrills with Jurassic Park. We're going to go ahead and do a loop around the food court. The food court does have a little bit more lighting. It does have some LED lights. You do see some twinkle lights that are hanging down. I'm not sure if they're for the holidays or if they're just there 365, but not really impressive. There's just not enough flair in this mall. Charleston deserves a lot better. The shoppers of Charleston, the amount of money that's in Charleston, or North Charleston, whatever you want to say. I know a lot of you guys give me a hard time about that when I say this mall's in Charleston. The market of Charleston deserves a much better mall. And with the redevelopment of Citadel coming soon, maybe they're going to raise the bar and really make the difference here in Charleston. Yeah, sure, King Street's great, but it's all boutique stores and lawyers' offices and stuff like that. I don't want to go down King Street and overpay for boutique stuff. So as we take a look at some of the food choices, we of course have our Sbarro, we have our Charlie Steaks, and also there's a Jamaican place actually right after the Sbarro, so that's pretty cool. And then right next to the Jamaican place is, I guess, would have been the Great American Cookie or one of the cookie places, and that is out. So that's kind of sad to see that even the cookie place can't hang on at the mall. there's a lot of stores here. You know, there's very few vacancies. There are a lot of mom and pop stores at this mall. You have a lot of national stores, so that's really cool. The thing that it's of course missing is your higher end stores. So when you go shopping, even at Columbiana Mall in Columbia, they've got some nice high-end stores. I really don't understand why those stores are not here with CBL, other than this mall being dreary. So as you take a look upward, by the way, in the video, you'll see that a lot of the can lights, the light bulbs are burned out. Sorry, gotta have the light bulbs in there. I really don't care too bad on CBL. You gotta keep this mall looking nice. The mall's dreary. It's not lit well. And with the LED technology being so cheap today, guys, the maintenance crews have to be up there on the candy picker and our cherry picker and replacing the lights. And there you see lids. So, you know, again, you've got your brands that are necessary, but you don't have the brands that really go above and beyond. And they probably wouldn't do well at this mall anyway. The H&M certainly is nice. Now, the H&M is a great example. You walk past H&M, it's bright. And of course, it's that white grayish color, as with most malls today. And I'm not asking CBL to, go ahead and whitewash this mall. I actually really like the tile being old school. I like the front of the Macy's being old school. But it just needs to be brighter. No ifs, ands, or buts. 9:30 in the morning. It was also, let's see, temperature, I think about 70 degrees outside, nice and sunny. There's not a lot of light coming in from the outside of this mall because there's not a lot of skylights, but it just doesn't really hit here. So let's go ahead and walk through the rest of the mall. We could probably got, let's see, about another 6 or 7 minutes of our walk around. The kiosks, you see a lot of them are still all covered. Now we're about 25 minutes into open of the mall. And there you see printing place. And we got, is that a second lids? So I guess there's 2 lids at the mall. That's cool. It'd be like a lot of malls will have 2 Annie Ann's. GNC looked nice. Their front looked definitely nice. And the only place that really had that festive look and or smell, of course, was Bath and Body Works. So any of the candle places, it'd be great if the candle places could tell them all, hey, listen, we've got a whole gallon of this scent for whatever candle, and we want to pump it through the vents. That's really what this mall needs. And then as we continue on here, you'll see that Belk actually has 2 signs. So you have the big sign up above, almost like on the 2nd floor, not that there's 2 floors at this mall. And then you've got another little, what would look like a highway sign down there to the right off. I don't know why they would need 2 signs. You know that Belk's here. We also know that Dillard's here is here. Your anchors are here, and I really don't know why they had to do that. But I guess when you're all the way down that corridor, people were saying, "Oh, I didn't even know Belk was here." But I doubt that highly. There you see Magic Nails, and I believe the mall offices were there to the left side. I only saw 1 security guard during my time here. They recently did have a little bit of violence at the mall, unfortunately. I shouldn't even say little bit. I believe a pew-pew was discharged, and I think Z was actually here that day. And of course, shout out Z, shout out Sleeve, all you guys that are in the comments, I really appreciate it. And just a few days ago, did a walkthrough at Santee Outlets. If you are a South Carolinian or in the area, the Santee Mall is going to be demolished. So please pull up my live video on Santee, and that mall supposedly is slated for January to be done. I was taking a picture there of one of the closed stores. So if you are interested in that mall, definitely go check it out. I'm not telling you to, by the way. I don't want you to get hurt and or wind up in jail. But the property was nice and easy to walk around. It is a little bit treacherous, so please watch where you are walking. Even the sewer grates are pulled off for some reason. I assume scrappers stole them. So you could definitely get hurt at that property. So if you do go, please be safe. But if you want to check out the Santee Outlets, last call, because it's going to be gone soon. And of course, as we've heard recently, it is supposedly going to be a casino. They're going to pass some laws, we're hearing, in 2026 for casino gambling. So another thing as we close out here, we got about 3 minutes left. we had a recent loss with Adam the Woo, and really sad to see that. I think a lot of us are doing YouTube because of either somebody that was inspired by Adam or Adam himself. I've watched him on and off through the years. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Dan Bell. He actually joined in on the live feed from Santee. So thank you, Dan, for joining if you're happening to watch this video. And Dan was my inspiration to start to do these videos. And I'm really glad that I did. And I'm having a good time. It's a hobby. Make about a nickel every video, thanks to you guys. And I love joining you in the comments. I love when you tell me some of the history of these places that I really don't know about. So please continue to do that into 2026. And to go back to Adam, I think one of the things that we always need to keep in mind is that you never know when you're going to wake up. Some bad things can happen. Even myself, I've had some major issues medically, and I'm actually very lucky to be here. So that's why I do like doing these videos, documenting things. Maybe after my time here on this earth. Maybe my kids and or whoever else will watch the videos and remember, oh, that was that guy from Charleston that likes pinball machines and malls. So, and then also health-wise, even when Dan joined the Santee feed, I wanted to tell Dan, hey, I know you're going on a weight loss journey. I recently went on a weight loss journey. Again, shout out Sleeve, losing that weight. Good deal, dude. And I wanted to share with Dan some of the things that I've done. No supplements, no medical stuff, just eating the right foods. So take the time to do that, guys. Eat the right foods, one ingredient foods. Don't be eating processed junk. Our foods, and not to get political, our foods in this country are killing us. And I really hope that that's not the case as to what happened with Adam, but I kind of have a feeling that's probably what happened. He probably passed in his sleep from a cardiac issue. He wasn't a druggie, he wasn't a party guy, so he probably, hopefully went peacefully, which he did. And so anyway, for all you YouTube folks out there, really appreciate you always joining in. In 2026, I've got a lot of videos that I've got to edit. I might do them without voiceovers just so that you guys can see the videos. I have so many micro SD cards piled in this desk here in a little bag that I've got to get all these videos out to you guys. And stuff that's been filmed over the last like 3 years. And even though it's old stuff, I can definitely share it with you, and we can all learn from each other. All right, guys, I'm wishing you a great 2025 Christmas, New Year, all that fun stuff. Lots of good things coming up. Yes, the bad will happen, but we got to go through bad to appreciate the good. All right, guys, there's our final turn. Looking back, I was actually looking at the sign for the code of conduct at the mall. And I'm sure it says don't film, but you know what? Too bad. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Give it one more chance. Worry